Mutas finally just popped. Now he wants to push this away. Let's speed it up to faster. Still kept those Zerglings there for the potential double drop, but sadly he just moved them because he saw a drop south. So he sends them south. That kind of hurt. He's down to 73. He was at 79, so he lost 6 Harvesters to that. Spore Crawler didn't actually get to kill the medevac. Sadly, this Queen's, being a slack ass. He's finally got the Muta number out, and this is where Life wants to be. It's not the best position because he would love to have his 80 Harvesters instead of 73. But that's also a part of the reason why Life's style is so good, is that he overmakes a little bit of Harvesters, but with Ling Bling, as long as he's defending with his Ling Bling against these double drops and not taking crazy amounts of damage, and he can just delay until his Mutas come out, the extra drones do allow him to take some drone damage. So he loses some drones, and yet he doesn't feel like he needs to remake them right away. And honestly, against a good Terran who's making a push here, double dropping here, and pressuring over here with Banshees, it's very difficult to be able to remake drones because you got to start spending your larva on units. And so being able to overmake drones by a little bit before your Mutas come out means that once his Mutas actually do come out, he's already got everything all in play. And really, I think from watching Life's play, the second his Mutas comes out, if he can make it to where he hasn't taken much economic damage and he's gotten to his Mutas, to his perfect composition of Ling Bling Muta, and he's gotten his 15 plus Mutas out, that's where Life essentially wins the game. If Life can get this composition out, he wins the game. Problem is what happens later on into this game. This is where Life feels most comfortable. I think Life right here feels very comfortable. He thinks he can win this game, and this game is his to lose. He might have lost a few Harvesters, but he's still feeling pretty good. He's making a bunch of Bailings. He had got his 15 Mutas. It looks like he's happy with that number. He's not making any more. He's using all his gas on Bailings. He wants a sizable Ling Bling force, and he thinks 15 Mutas is plenty to kill the medevacs, and that's all they're there to do. Or to snipe Widow Mines. That was a really good Widow Mine hit, and that was a very good Widow Mine hit. It was, let's look at the resources lost right before that engagement. 3,800 to 3,100. 3,800 to 3,100. And then at this engagement, boom. 5,300 to 3,750. Oh god. Pretty much that engagement is what lost Life this game. I wouldn't say 100%, but that put Life behind instead of ahead. He honestly, his kind of macro play and his kind of opening and his kind of fast 4-base econ by defending with Ling Bling and to delayed Muta, it puts him up ahead against an extremely good Terran player who pretty much has 4-base income with 3-base. 3-base plus mules gives Maru a very, very strong income. But if Life has 80 Harvesters, he can match it. Now, because Life lost some Harvesters, I think that's the reason why he didn't take these gases. He knew that he was on a smaller Harvester count, and he couldn't afford to take these extra gases. And that, hurts the number of Mutas he has, or hurts the potential faster tech switches if he decides to tech switch. But Life also likes to just stick on Ling Bling Muta. He loves Ling Bling Muta. But this engagement put Life behind instead of his economic lead that he always puts himself in the beginning at this typical stage of the game. So that hurt, and then what really secured Maru the victory is this double drop right here. He just had a very bad engagement in the center, and now he's losing another few Mutas, which is actually hurting Life even more. It wasn't exactly the smartest play, because he just lost another Muta for 3 Marines, not worth. So he doesn't have any vision, any Overlord vision on this side of the map, and he loses another like 9 drones here. And this is what hurt. This is what puts Life behind. This is what loses Life the game. Huge Widow Mine hit kills a sizable portion of the army. It also puts him down to 62 Harvesters. So now life barely has 3 base income, but you know Maru's gonna be relentless. He's not gonna give life a second to breathe. So second he pulls the Medivacs back, keeps the Medivac alive, kills a Muta. The Mutas tried to kill the Medivac. He didn't allow that to happen. He lost another Muta. Resources loss is now really just heavily in Maru's favor. Maru is pushing forward to deny creep. He has to keep making Ling Bling because he needs a sizable ground force and he needs good Baneling hits. And that's how life feels like he can win this game still, is if I just get good Baneling hits, maybe I can still come back in this game. Problem is, drop hits him again, loses even more drones. Now he's down to 62 again, even though he tried to make up some harvesters, evidently. He tried to sneak in a few harvesters, didn't work. Thor is just so strong here. That one extra Thor prevents life's magnificent little pokes. You know, these tiny little armies where life will take, you know, 8 Zerglings and 5 Banelings or so, and then the rest, then all his mutas, like 15 of his mutas, and fly in and use the small number of Ling Bling in order to snipe a Medivac or 2. That's no longer at play. He's no longer allowed to do that. That one Thor prevents life from doing those kinds of small little snipes, and that really hurts life as well because he desperately needs to eke out tiny advantages in order to get back into this game, right? He pulls back off creep. Really great play. Perfect timing to get off creep because life was desperately trying to punish him. Saves the super low HP Thor, 11 HP. Oh my god. So good. Sick play by Maru, obviously. And once again, life just doesn't have an economic leg to stand on. It looks like he pulled off these geysers. He realized that he has to have the income to be able to make the amount of Zerglings. He has to be able to. He just has to have his Zergling count. He can't just. Which means that he can't ever remake his mutas. He still has 14, which is very impressive. He hasn't lost a single muta in these past 2 engagements, which is just so important because if he did, then he would have lost this game even sooner. But at this point, this is where Maru just leans on him, puts the pressure on. He's got 3-3 almost done. That's going to be the nail in the coffin for sure if this push didn't work out right now anyway. And so really, the synopsis of this game is life had a really strong position, ended up taking a couple Widowmine shots in the middle of the map that actually put him behind instead of his advantage, and then I think he got a little salty about that engagement and decided, I need to eke out a little bit. I need to take some free kind of damage because that engagement sucked. I need to eke out a few little things, and that's why he's used his mutas to try and poke these 4 Marines or so. Maybe if I can kill an extra 200 minerals worth of Marines right here, I can kind of eke out an advantage. Well, his mutas are completely out of position, and he had no vision on this side of the map, and the double drop just crippled him. And right after he got crippled, his army got crippled. So his army got crippled, he wanted to try to eke out an advantage, and instead his econ got crippled because of it. So after he got crippled his army and then econ, Maru just leaned on him, and this is what happens.
You could, or you could.
And this is it.
I feel like the
great splitting, obviously. Maru never letting life kill the Medivacs, or at least as much as possible, and punishing him when he tries to. Now he's down to 11 mutas, and they're all hurt. Really great play by life still, forcing the Widowmines to hit small numbers of Banelings or Lings, but in the end, too little too late. Alright. Let's look at game number 4.
Alright, so you had a 2-3 harvest golem, or he had a 2-3 harvest golem?
He did.
Okay.
And he played the piloted shredder.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a 4-3. And I got a multi-shot top deck though.
Nice.
So I got that.
Alright, so this game was really sad.
That's unfortunate.
For me, when I watched it last night. Because I really thought life was going to win it.
8 to the face, goddamn. I've never gotten one of those in the arena at any point.
Ooh, that's really good.
Nice.
Brave SirRobin. What's up, Smokecraft? Thanks for tuning in, man.
How much health? Is it whenever...
Yeah, if you guys have any questions
you're attacked?
or not sure about anything I'm saying, just post it in chat. Because I'm reading chat.
Bad.
Alright.
Bad. Fuck.
Not bad. Just
Not great.
unfortunate.
This is
So
the
once
bad
again,
too.
Life is respecting Maru and
No, you have a
scouting
weapon
the center of the
so
map
it's pretty much toss up.
for potential proxies because he knows Maru is so good at that kind of play.
Should
And
I explosive
if you were
drop?
ever to let Maru do it,
So he doesn't have anything
I mean,
else.
it's not
Definitely.
really worth
He
it.
doesn't have anything else, so I would probably trade either the Spiteful or the other and just hero power. Because if he does go face, you're better off.
veto this shit map. I love Catalina, man. This is a great map. He should have vetoed
Dark Souls
Secret
Box,
Spring.
Secret
I don't know why he didn't veto
Huh?
Secret Spring.
7-4.
Yeah.
Not as good as it.
It entices him to
Sam27
trade.
2B, thanks so much for following me on my quest, man. Appreciate it.
Coming at you is way more intimidating than before.
Hope you stick around, watch me play some StarCraft in the future. Alright, so he got an SCV with the
Oh my
drone
gosh.
attacking, but he also
Guy
lost the
went
drone.
Wing Fury 100 deck.
Shit happens. Links finally pop.
You can use an explosive
little bit
shot
late.
right now. That is not a
It's bad.
shot.
It's very bad.
Microing the drones in a circle like a boss, keeping them alive, or trying to. Couldn't afford a spore crawler. Was
Yes,
10
13
minerals
on the
too
board.
little,
Yeah.
sadly.
So,
So he had to lose a second drone. Life doesn't exactly feel too happy about this opening. He's forced 8 Zerglings out of him. He's forced him to have to build an extractor, a spore crawler to save drones, and he's still also lost 2 drones. Fortunately, the
I want to hit him.
3 Reaper opening does delay the factory and the Hellions quite a bit. So even though Maru's doing good damage here, Life knows that the mid game is going attack is going to be delayed. Oh, there's no map veto. Okay, well that makes sense.
I don't know. Acolyte.
So the 3 Reaper opening is doing great work, but at the expense of a stronger late mid game push. He snipes a Reaper, which is helpful. Makes Life feel a little good inside. Finally, some kind of damage for all this expense. Sees that the guy has at least 1 gas. He's not sure if that's his only gas, but I'm sure he clicked on it and saw that it was his first gas that he took by having already mined like 500. Trying to see what else he can see. I don't think he really sees anything else. Once again, Life goes for that fast third base. After he gets speed, he took men off gas. He's trying to get his queens up, but he can't really afford more queens. He normally has 3 queens here. I think he lost 1, and instead of remaking it, instead he just goes back again for that faster third. He doesn't want to delay his third. His harvester count is normally 35 here. It's 33. He did lose a couple drones. There are those drones he needs to remake. Hellions are finally out on the map. 7:15. They're a little bit late because of the 3 Reapers. They would be a little bit faster had he not gone so many Reapers. Getting a little bit of Crete spread. He's making a bunch of Zerglings here. This is also something I really like to do. And this is essentially once you get 16, 16, 16, and then 2 gases worth. 2 gases worth is enough gas to be mining where he can work his way towards whether it's a Baneling nest, he needs some more of a ton of Banelings because there's an all incoming, whether that be Hellbats or Mass SCV, some crazy Wings of Liberty thing, or, you know, like I was just saying, or it's enough gas to be able to start double Evo. And that's what Life is doing. He wants 2 base income,
That's
perfectly great 2 base income, 3rd base on the way. While he's waiting for this 3rd base, he's making a ton of lings. He's got 22, he's got another 10 on the way, and he's going to make more. And I just love this play because this is exactly how I like to play.
I got a Hound Master and Animal
He takes a little bit faster third than me,
Acolyte.
and that means he could saturate it with drones a little bit faster, but he knows that that's not exactly the safest move. And so clearing the map with the of the Hellions is more important first, because otherwise those drones would be exposed anyhow.
It's either freezing.
For the love of God.
He desperately wants to get a counterattack going.
I would laugh so hard.
He has an Overlord spotting here to give him some kind of vision, knows he wants to go around. He goes completely around, not even down here. Goes through this alleyway, just in case the Hellions are right around
Can you
here.
hang on just 1 second?
Knows that there's some here
Yeah, sorry.
because of the little harass with the Reaper. Keep some Zerglings at home for a potential attack. Uses these lings to do a counter attack.